Hola, HUAWLA koalas. Jorge here. I've got a very special offer for you from the New Hollywood, an organization dedicated to supporting socially conscious storytellers and change makers. They intend to inspire everyone to rise higher, shine brighter, and give back, much like this podcast. Here's the offer. The first 10 folks who reach out via Instagram at HUAWLA Podcast get 2 free copies of Breonna Brown's book, Manifesting Your Mission, to end the year strong with a friend. It's a $50 value that you're getting for free. My favorite 4-letter word. I'm a TNH member, and I've been using this book all year. Also, I found that doing it with a friend or in a group can be really great for accountability. Did I mention that you're getting 2 free books? Huh? So go ahead and DM us on Instagram at HUAWLA Podcast, and we'll get you on the way to finishing this year strong with Breonna Brown's book, Manifesting Your Mission. And now, here's the show. This episode's guest, Eric Laden.
We're starting. Okay.
Hey. Hola, HUAWLA koalas. It's Friday, July 13th, 2018, here at Beechwood Studios, and we have another great episode of Hurry Up and Wait LA, the arts and education podcast. I'm Jorge Payo, actor, director, and Los Angeles-based acting coach. To my left is Miss Veronica.
Hello, everybody. Veronica Roy here, actress, writer, producer, and part-time action movie star. What? And to my left is...
No, bullshit. I do shit. I'm actor, writer, and currently interviewer. My life's a mess right now. Either way.
His life's a mess. He's looking for a job, so if you're hiring, just email us at hurryupandwaitLApodcast@gmail.
I am willing to strip and drink my beer and coffee. Yes.
He's got a child to put through college.
Ronnie, you got a message for the peoples?
I probably do. Give me one moment. There we go. All right, so HUAWLA koalas, that's a new thing that we're trying out. I love the name. It makes me smile every time I say HUAWLA koalas. So you guys need to stay tuned to the end of this interview because we are doing some special segments, such as Craft and Career Social Q&A with Ronnie. Ronnie would be me. It's the new nickname that we're trying out on the show, so... Yep, Veronica.
Is it
Ronnie,
that new? I've always called you Ronnie.
Yeah, but like I introduced myself as Ronnie, and then now it's written as Ronnie, so just not to confuse the people.
And the world doesn't revolve around you, Jorge, so...
And Ronnie spelled I-E, so it's the girl's Ronnie.
My dad is Ronnie I.E.
Really?
Yeah.
I have never heard that spelling given to a male.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Now, how...
He's cis, though.
He's cis?
Nice, good for you. Yeah, I was going to say.
No, he's not. Do you not know cisgender?
Yeah.
Cisgender?
Oh, there it is. Oh, I did not
I don't know
translate.
if I can do this podcast.
I did not translate.
It takes Ronnie a minute. Just hold on.
Not my Ronnie. My Ronnie is very quick.
It's like a delayed reaction.
It takesRonnie a minute. So
Yeah.
I got you.
Just give me a second.
Yeah, little hamster falls asleep at the wheel sometimes.
I got you. Yeah,
But
it
he's
happens.
so cute. His name is Archibald.
Yeah.
Wake up, Archie.
But anyway, so not done with my segment list. Okay, so we've got the Q&A at the end. Then we've got the WTF Hollywood with Landis. And then we're going to try out some new games that is being hosted by Jorge. The 2 ones that we're going to try out are Famous Movie Scene Mad Libs and 90 Awkward Seconds.
No, 90 awkward seconds is a staple, though. That's not much of a tryout. But
Hey,
What?
why are you putting me down during my segment?
I'm not putting you down. I'm just saying.
Literally, just like
Oh,
reading.
and by the way,
God.
the
Literally.
segment that he wrote.
Exactly.
He wrote, by the way.
No, but that wasn't what I wrote.
Okay.
That was, I mean, if you were to read what I wrote,
So,
then
so
you wouldn't have
mo-
made that, then you wouldn't have said what
So
you said.
do you want to do this segment now, George?
No,
Do you want this to
dude,
be the thing?
Jesus.
that
Can I get a
Christ.
beer while you guys argue?
A refill, you mean?
Maybe just read what's written. I don't know.
All right, so moving on. So we have a very special shout out to Sarah R., who gave us 5 stars on iTunes, and she commented, "This show is very entertaining. Thank you for helping me get through LA traffic without road rage. You're saving lives." That's good. We love you
Okay.
too, Sarah R.
I feel like she gave us way too much credit.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'll take it.
I'll take it.
We're
I'll
helping
take it.
humanity.
I mean, I'd like to
public service.
Sure.
I'll take that.
Maybe I should listen to our podcast so I can get over road rage. Because I'm still experiencing it a lot.
Oh, man.
We're that good. All right.
So basically, if you guys want to get a shout out on our show, please rate us and comment on iTunes, and then you get your own special name said over a podcast. So yay you. All right, now on today's episode, Jorge has invited another Hollywood industry professional to discuss the craft and career with us here on HUAWLA. Jorge,
Voila.
Voila!
who is your guest?
Hello, koalas. In studio with us this week is a gentleman who I've had the great pleasure of being in class with over a decade ago.
Oh, God.
At Scott Sedita Acting Studios. Crazy. I'm still,
Well over a decade.
I'm still teaching scene study over there now, too, yeah.
So you guys are not 15? Is that because
it's well
decade?
over
You would have
a
been
decade.
5. We took classes together.
I was a child.
I was a
actually.
child.
I started when I was 7.
Yeah.
I've even had the great pleasure of directing him once in a John Patrick Shanley play called Lonely Impulsive Delight. Remember that? That was fun. But you would recognize him from a multitude of voiceover, TV, and film work. Infamous 2, Left 4 Dead 2, American Sniper, Annabelle, Generation Kill, Mad Men, The Killing, The Brink, 6, etc., etc. I prepared a little musical intro for him. His name is Eric Laden, and here it is.
You thought the race fair was going to turn you into some sort of shiny superhuman. But instead it turned you into a 50-foot maggot. Native hunting tradition, isn't it? Party to kill, gain the life force of your prey. You're right about how we're all baby killers and mama rapers, huh? Let's go, Garza. Let's talk about what we're going to do when we get out of the Corps. We're going to join us Border Patrol and shoot us some wetbacks. You think I'm going to give up $1 million over a couple ugly bastards and dead people? He was acting queer on the golf course last month. Let one of the colored caddies really have it.
You know, a third of pregnancies end in miscarriage. And that's just a reported number. In actuality, it's probably a lot higher.
You kidding me, man? After downing that Iranian arms shipment, you're a rock star, brother. They got plans for you. Oh, man. The Xanax is starting to kick in. There's only one kill I have I don't need a picture, remember? My first. I remember every line on the guy's face. My name is Eric Laden. I love brown people. Come on.
Brown people.
That was some creative editing at the end there in particular.
So you're a racist? Go on, explain.
I said I love brown people.
Brown people.
He said in a room full of brown people.
Literally.
Honestly,
Surrounded by brown people.
I've made a couple of these for a couple of people. Yours was the most fun I've had so far.
I play those characters.
Yeah. You played a lot of soldiers, a lot of bad guys, a lot of guys with an edge kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where do you think that comes from? With the
My childhood.
yeah,
Yeah, I played too much G.I. Joe.
okay,
Pretended to be a soldier. And have always had an edge. I don't know. You know, it's in there, obviously, somewhere, right?
Do you have people? Because I have this problem sometimes. Because I've played a lot of soldiers and cops too, and sometimes when I meet somebody and they're like, and they're surprised that I was never in the military.
No. Maybe just, yeah. I mean, I've had people
random
ask.
person, yeah.
I've had people ask, you know, have you ever served? Or, you play so many soldiers. But no, I haven't had anybody necessarily mistake me for anyone that's been in the military.
But I play one on TV.
But I play one on. But I wish I mean, that's something that I've always kind of wish. I think if I had another go in my next life, I wouldn't change this life, but in my next life, like I'd do that.
Oh, what
I've
branch?
always thought the same.
Do you have a preference? Like, do you want to fly?
Navy
Do you wanna
SEALs
swim?
are pretty badass. I
They
mean,
really
I've played, you know, Air Force. I've played fighter pilots.
Nice.
That wouldn't be my bag, but yeah. I mean, I think if I could get through buds, being a SEAL would be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
There's something about like the independence that you're allowed when you're a SEAL that I think is pretty special. And then you know you have proved yourself over a period of time, and so you're allowed to kind of do your own deal. You're allowed to have a beard. You're allowed to have long hair. You're allowed to wear what you want to wear.
It's like, I've saved lives. Don't put limitations on me.
Yeah, I mean, and they do. Like a lot of those guys, they a lot of our tech advisors on the show I was recently working on 6, said, some guys wore NVGs, night vision goggles with 4, like some guys wore 2. The 2, you get less peripheral vision, but it's, like 3 ounces lighter, and that makes a difference. Some of them don't carry sidearms.
Really?
Some of them do. Yeah, I mean, they're like, listen, it's heavy. And I went on 3 deployments, never pulled a sidearm, and pretty much if you pull it, you're fucked. So, I just... So, I mean, and you're allowed to kind of do what you want to do to be comfortable and what makes you.
Have you gone through some sort of training for 6 and Generation Kill and all this stuff?
Yeah, for Gen Kill, we did a pretty good boot camp. We were in Africa for about 2.5 weeks before we started production, and we went through a pretty extensive boot camp, classroom, and in the field. And then for 6 has been one of the cool. Both were really awesome. For the Brink, when I was a fighter pilot, we went down to Pablo and I, my co-star, went down to Miramar and flew simulators, F-18 simulators, which was cool. Really badass. Cool. And then for this job, for 6, when I joined, we went up to BC and we started hiking the mountains of BC in the snow. We went on basically a 3-day hike, and then there was times where they basically gave us a compass, gave us coordinates, and we're like, peace out. Wow. Find your way back.
Did you find a bear?
No, but we had, they sent us stuff about bears, and basically we're like, read this. Mm-hmm. It's not a joke. Mm-hmm. We had bear spray on us, but it was like things to do if you see a bear. And one of the things it says is literally like, just talk to the bear and be like, I'm not dangerous, but I will fight you, bear. I don't want to fuck you up, but I will if I need to, bear.
I could
and kind of be your bitch.
But that's my question.
Get bigger.
So Yogi's like, I just wanted your picnic basket.
Yeah. He's like, look, bruh, I was just going in my car.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I would literally turn and run.
Why are you profiling me?
You're in my backyard.
Be like, fuck you, bear, and then just start running.
Safe. That's the safest course of action.
I want to know who the hell just discovered that.
Yeah.
Like, how do you make that into a rule? Because somebody has had it, do it for the first time. Like, oh, this shit works.
Well,
yeah.
And that worked. Once, many times.
Well, I guess because everybody that didn't work is not here.
Right.
You're no longer with us to tell us about it.
I've come back from the promised land.
It was the one guy that came back.
Right. Yeah. What did you do?
See, that would be me. It's like, go ahead. And I'm behind the tree taking notes. Go ahead, do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But, I mean, if you take in consideration, horse whisperers and all that, calming voices, talking to animals and all that, I kind of believe the whole having conversations with the bear.
Have you seen a bear?
In person?
Yeah, at the zoo.
At the zoo, yes.
Okay, because I'm like, okay,
it's very, very large.
The guy next to me is fatter than me. I'm going to outrun this motherfucker. Fuck it.
Yeah,
I'm done.
You're not outrunning a bear.
Might as well try.
I'm outrunning the guy next to me. As long as the guy's next to me, yeah.
I don't have to run fast. I just have to run faster than you.
Right?
Yeah,
exactly. Just can't be the slowest in the group.
Yeah. So, were there any actors who were out in that trip that were like, I'm just an actor, man. What the hell am I doing out
No,
here?
I believe everyone had their moment. Not this season, though. 6 was special in the sense that all of the actors on the show were extremely dedicated, really professional, wanted to do this, wanted to, do it right, and they made it really fun. I mean, we got back from that hiking trip, and then we had a day off, and then we went and moved into a cabin and stayed up at night and drank scotch and barbecued, and then during the day shot guns and did that for 5 days. And I started bitching. I bitched at 3 days sleeping. These cabins were, when I say cabin, I mean 4 walls and a floor, and on a hardwood floor. And by day 3, I was like, "Fuck this noise, dude." I was like, "We're actors."
Yeah.
I was like, I get it.
I get it.
But I'm not going to war. But I get it. I can act like a SEAL now.
Right on.
I'm going back to my hotel. I need room service and a bath. God damn it! And dude, I
In
did.
that order.
I got in the bath for like 2 hours. Called room service. Left like a shoe in the door, and he was like knocked on my door, and I was like, I'm in the back. He was like, I'll leave it in front. I was like, no, bring it on back, bro.
We're all family here.
I was like, I'm eating in the tub. My feet hurt like a motherfucker.
So, Eric, tell us a little bit more about you, where you're from. How did you get started in this crazy business we call show?
I'm from Houston, born and raised in Texas. I kind of always thought I was going to be a lawyer, wanted to be a lawyer, loved law, was kind of a bit of a court rat. My mom and dad would let me in the summer go listen to court cases. So I'd go to the courthouse in Houston and literally just sit there all day and watch trial. Yeah, I loved it, and I interned with some judges and some lawyers and then I at the same time, like starting in junior high, I was doing forensics. I don't know if y'all know what that is, but like speech and debate,
kind of
speech and debate.
Nice.
And so I started doing like speech tournaments, and that was something that was really appealing to me. And then theater, and I did theater all through high school, and I loved it. And then went to college and auditioned and got into SC's BFA program, and ended up going to SC and USC. And I think looking back on it, I think what I realized is like what I was loving so much about watching cases was like the theatrics of it.
Yeah.
I loved watching the attorneys. I loved watching people on the stand. I loved watching the characters. I loved watching how they interact with one another, how they manipulated one another. And so I think I was like taking that all in and I stayed at SC and then I graduated. Before I graduated, I kind of took advantage of LA, which is the reason I came here. And I was like, all right, so my summer before my senior year, I'm going to get out. I went to Scott's Adidas Studios. I started taking classes outside of school. I did back when I did it, it was like a mail out of headshot and resume and a note, to every agent in town. And I probably sent 200 and got 3 back and ended up some poor schmuck took a chance on me and I booked a couple commercials and got a SAG card. So it worked out well because by the time I graduated, I had a SAG card. I had gotten a couple things under my belt.
I remember you back then, and you
deal.
were very persistent too. Like you did not take no for an answer.
Yeah, I don't know that you can.
Yeah.
Especially then, I was driven, and
You were very
I think
motivated,
maybe sometimes to a fault, I approached the business. Mm-hmm. Like Scott, I'll never forget. Scott was actually he was somebody who early in my career when I was like, I don't understand. There'll be an actor in class that will go. I won't say his name, but like he was working like crazy.
Yeah,
but he didn't do shit. Like he literally would like read sides on the way to the audition. But he was tall and handsome and charming, but he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what is happening right now?
Yeah.
Why aren't I reading for that? And Scott was the one that sat me down and was like, you need to figure out who you are. And like, you've been a big fish in a small pond in high school. You've been a big fish in a small pond in college. But you're not going to play the lead on a WB show. Like, that's not who you are. Like, so people right now are buying you for like the science nerd, the redneck. You might not be either of those things, but you better fucking embrace it and get those jobs, and then you can worry about the rest later. And it really was hard for me. And like, I would go meet agents, and I would put on like slacks and a button down and a briefcase, and I'd have like a fucking notepad and all this.
Yeah.
And he was like, no.
Yeah.
You need to be in jeans and a fucking thrift store T-shirt and tennis shoes, and like you need to go in looking younger than because you already look. You act older than your age, and you act older than what you look like.
Yep.
So I need you to look younger. And that was a really important moment for me, and like a big turning point in my career, because it was the first time where I recognized I was like, oh, okay, and then I would get like a kind of a nerdy guy on CSI, or I would get a redneck on the unit, or I would get this, and I was like, oh, okay, now I understand. Like, I know what they're buying, so now I can embrace that. And when I go into a room, just be that person. You know?
But you've also been able to like break out of that person also, which has been great. Did that take you time to do, or did you find yourself doing these characters or this casting for a number of years until you finally were able to break through to other things? Or
well, I think something that's like so important is, first of all, I was fortunate enough to have success with guest stars in commercials. I did a lot of commercials, which was after, maybe 4 or 5 years out here, was able to quit being a bartender and got some commercials that paid my rent, and then I could just focus on acting. And then, did like the whole, like, where I was just doing a lot of guest stars before any recurrings. And then it wasn't until maybe, but I had a period of a year where I did not get anything. And I remember, but I was auditioning a lot. And I remember nothing happened. And my managers called me to lunch, and I was like, they're going to fucking fire me. At least they're going to buy me lunch. And they called me to lunch, and they were like, relax. Like, you're good. Yeah. We're not going to...
Feedback was still good on you?
Yeah.
That was the whole thing.
And the thing is like, that period was so important in my career, and you don't see it when you're in it because all you hear is the no's. Mm-hmm. But, what I realized is that, and when it clicked, and you've heard actors say this, I'm sure, but everybody can hear it, but they have to have it click. It's like, you've got to reset and know that your job is the audition. And unfortunately, you're not getting paid for your job. But your job is the audition, and if you go in and you crush it, you have to walk out and be like, my job is done. Mm-hmm. If I get it, icing on the cake. Yeah. But my job is done at this point. And I spent a year going into rooms doing really good auditions, not getting the jobs, but like putting in the groundwork. Yeah. And then I ended up getting Generation Kill on HBO, really good miniseries, and it was edgy, and it was cool, and it was cable. And then after that, I got home, and all those casting directors were like, bring him in. And then it was a Mad Men recurring for 2 seasons and a Big Love recurring for a season. And, this and that. And all of a sudden, and then I booked a pilot. And it was just like, all of a sudden, all those people I had like laid the groundwork with were like starting to like come out of the woodwork.
So you were going into auditions just like really concentrating on the work and basically cultivating relationships.
I think that's all you can do.
Making friends, right?
That's all you can do because you can't control the other. And I'm a control freak, so it was very I was going in with the mindset of like, what do you want me to do?
What do you want?
What do you want? What do you want? What do you want?
Who do you want me to be?
And now I go into rooms and I'm like, this is what I would do with it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're not looking for this, then you should hire someone else. Yeah. Whereas like before it was, no, don't hire anybody else. I can do anything. Yeah. Tell me, give me a note. Yeah. But that's why work begets work. That's why working actors will work more, is because they're not going in necessarily always like, oh my God, if I don't get this job, I can't pay my rent.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if you have a job and you're working and you're going in, you're just at ease.
Right.
And you're like, you know what? If I don't get it, that's cool. I got a job. I got another job. I want a series. It's just hiatus. Mm-hmm. Or you just feel more comfortable in yourself, even if you don't have it. It's so, and that's so hard. I mean, I tell people all the time, the hardest part of this business is maintaining your confidence when you have none and you have no reason to be confident. You know what I mean? And
you're in an industry that is riddled with rejection.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you're constantly going. Yeah, you have to go in with the idea. It's like It's like being in high school and being broken up with every day.
Yeah.
For a semester.
Yeah.
Like some high school.
Jorge, go on, tell us.
You're being broken up with like.
You're being told you're not good enough on a daily basis.
On the daily.
But you don't have to hear that.
No, but that at first, I think you nailed it, because when you're first starting out, that's what you feel.
Right.
But then if you stick with it and you do the work, then eventually you mature to like, this is what I think the role is.
Oh.
That is Jorge.
Oh,
that
knocking
is
over
Jorge.
a whole
knocking
lot of
over
equipment.
and tripping over a
then
dog.
stepping on his dog.
And leaving the show.
off
Why
he
is he leaving the
goes.
show? Oh my God, is he leaving the show?
He's going to an audition.
So, but
Just quit.
he quit. Yeah, all
He's
right.
gone. The show.
I'm glad his priorities
We're
is
down to 2 hosts.
another great.
No, you're exactly right, though. man.
But it comes with the work and maturity where you realize, like, I call it my fucking mentality. We're like, listen, this is what I think the role is. This is what I think I can bring to it. That's it. Deal with it. It's like going to a normal. What I tell anyone who asks for advice is like, it's like going to a job interview. When you go on a job interview, it's like, listen, these are my skills. This is what I can bring to the job. Right. Hire me or no.
Or
That's
don't.
it. Thank you. Have a good day.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, we don't do that. We get very self-conscious about
And let's be
everything.
honest,
That's very true,
there's
yeah.
times now we don't do that sometimes,
No.
you know, like, especially if it's one you like.
If
Yeah,
you
I
really
was
want
just
that.
about
I
to say
really
that.
want
When it's
that, yeah.
what do you do when it's a script that you read it and you're just like, oh my God,
But-
this is
Yeah.
this is the greatest thing since since Bing cherries. I don't know.
You gotta really
Bing
Chocolate?
cherries?
Huh?
All right, cacao.
I mean, Bing cherries are better
This is
than
the
like
second,
what are the ones they put in
Sliced
Coke?
bread?
Oh,
Maraschino?
Maraschino. It's
Those
better than
are
maraschino
bullshit.
cherries.
Those are
I'm just on a Bing cherry trip
I got
right
you.
now.
All right.
They were in season. What
Because
can I say?
because you can't have them? Is that
Do they
why
make you
want
fart?
them?
No.
Oh, they give me gas.
They
They're
give
the
you
ones
gas?
with the seeds, right?
Yeah, they're the ones with seeds.
Yeah, they give me gas.
See, grapes would make me fart. That's a different story.
Wow.
is-
yeah.
Well, this is good.
Okay.
This is fart talk.
Change
This is
this
our-
podcast. It's a new segment.
What else makes you fart?
What makes you gassy?
Flagellant Corner. Welcome to Flagellance. Our host. I'm tired. Don't listen to me. Continue. Go on.
Well, what else?
Well, no, we were saying, well, what do you do with a script that you read and is just really juicy and it's for that network that you haven't had a chance to work for yet, but you really want to work for, or that director that is just got that name, or that producer, like what, and you work on it, and you know that you'd be right for it, but you have to be able to let it go too.
Yeah, I mean, I think a couple of things have to come in play. You have to, I mean, first and foremost, you have to trust yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you have to be in a place where you feel comfortable enough going into a room. And I've gone into rooms. I mean, still to this day, you go in a room and there's some nerves there maybe, and you do it, and you're like, I can do better than that. Mm-hmm. And being in a place where you feel comfortable going, Junie, Libby, let's rock that again.
Yeah.
Let's do that again. That was bullshit. Or start and not feeling like walking out and being like, oh, I just totally bombed that. And then you do it really good on your way to your car and you're like, damn it, man.
Oh, I hate that.
Oh, everyone does that.
The car take.
Yeah.
It's like your
But it's important, I think, to find yourself in a spot where you're comfortable and confident enough to be like, oh, that was okay. Glad we got that out of the way. All right, let's do it again. Here we go from the top.
Not apologizing.
And start to own the room a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that again, that comes with confidence, and that can only come from experience.
Now, I have a question on that. So would you own the room like that with the office you have never auditioned in before? Or is
Today?
This, or
Yes.
today. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when you're first starting out, because after you've been in many rooms and many offices have called you in, so you've developed like a relationship with them, so they know your level.
Yeah,
of
but
work.
I mean, if I even went into a new room tomorrow that
You
I'd
would
never
still.
been in, yeah.
Well, is that something that you wish you had known when you first started
I
and
don't-
owned it from then, or is it something you have to grow into?
I don't think you can know it. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yes, I wish I did.
Yeah.
Of course.
To own it
I
from the
wish I did
get-go.
own it. But I don't think, I think you have to go through it, and you have to, and I've gotten, I feel like I'm at a point in my career where I'm like, my work. I'm here for a reason.
And that's not cockiness at
That's
all.
not cocky. It's just like
that's
we're-
ownership. That's
it's
exactly,
and
we're talking
this
about
is
ownership here.
you're taking 10 minutes out of your day to see me and my work. I'm taking 10 minutes out of my day to come in here and show you what I prepared. We both want the best for it.
Yeah.
So let's make sure we get that. And you don't always get that in rooms. Some rooms are cold. Some rooms, especially with like executives in it, are cold. But I think you have to find a way to have that confidence to like plow through that, and yeah, I mean, I guess it could be borderline cocky, but it's really more about ownership and confidence.
It's memorable, too.
Speaking of like being cold in some rooms, now you've you've done drama, you've done comedy, right?
Right.
Now, I found sometimes going into a comedy room and going into a room full of executives that could be really cold.
Yeah,
and a
for
little
sure.
off-putting, right?
Oh, yeah.
How do you handle something like that?
I mean, make them feel weird, maybe. I mean, you can go in and you know, I mean, I've done a comedy audition where I've gone in and nobody's laughing. I'm like, well, you know this is comedy, right? You know? I mean,
Snicker.
yeah, you know,
Okay.
and they very well might come back with, yeah, you just didn't make it funny. In which case, I will say, unfortunately, I have to read what's written.
Oh.
So that's a you problem. No, I wouldn't. I didn't say that.
I was about to give you props on
never
that one.
see him again.
But yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, though, I find that 8 times out of 10, everybody there wants you to succeed.
Yeah.
They want to find the right person for the job.
So they can
you know
stop
what I mean?
searching.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's that helps them.
No, I've ran now 5 castings, which I hate, and I have the most respect for casting directors because it's the worst odds. I hate bad odds.
Oh, don't have respect. Have most respect for actors, not casting.
No.
directors.
Have you done casting?
I've been in casting rooms. Yeah.
Okay, so they're horrible odds. They're horrible odds. Maybe
They
by
are.
The end of, by the end of the day, you might have 2, but I being behind and seeing it, you can tell the people come in confident, and that says a
Yeah.
lot about a person. So and it puts, at least when I do casting, it puts me at ease. Like, okay,
Sure.
great, let's have some fun. Let's see
Yeah.
where this goes. Where
Yeah.
you can sense the desperation when they come into the room. Some actors.
And I also, of course, you can. It's like being single, going to a bar looking to get laid. I mean, you can't get laid,
What
and
does
then you
that
get
smell?
married and roll in with a wedding ring, and it's like, where was this? You know, a year ago. What
Yeah.
the fuck? You know, it's like it's just you're a woman, you can smell it. You know what I mean? It's like
It's like you walk into a bar, you're like,
Wait a minute.
what does
Can you
that smell? What
yeah.
does that
Oh,
smell?
that's the smell of desperation.
We
It's
need to
called
go to another
taken.
bar.
Yeah, and you know, so it is very similar to that. You know, it is. You're right, Landis. It's extremely similar. It's like you want to, you know, you can, as a casting director, I think you smell that desperation,
Yeah.
and you can see it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
sad.
You know, and sense it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like you almost want to be like, dude, just take a
Chill.
breath.
Yeah.
Take a breath.
Yeah, some of the best ones that I've seen working behind are the ones that know that and are kind enough to like, hey, where are you from? All right, let's calm you down. Great.
Well,
Now let's do this.
yeah, and that's
You
what
know.
separates great. I think the great casting directors is the ones that, you know, will make you feel warm.
Yeah.
You know, and aren't cold, because you'd
think
be
that starts
amazed
from
at
the
how
waiting
many
room, the
casting
moment you walk in, right?
directors are cold, and then it's like, well, this is just off to a really bad start.
Yeah.
Like, why are you? You know what I mean?
I think it starts from like the moment you show up to the casting office. Like was it yesterday? Just yesterday, I went for an audition, and it was like the most pleasant experience I've ever had in my
Yeah.
entire life. There was a greeter who showed me which way to go, and he was
Yeah.
like, "Okay, there's a bathroom over there and a bathroom over there, and you can sign over here. Are you ready to go in? There's air conditioning upstairs." And I'm like, "Okay, great." And I go upstairs to that
Yeah.
room, and the guy's like, "Hey, I really like what you're wearing, and my name is blah blah blah." I'm like,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, they just made it a smooth casting from the very beginning.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing it does is you don't have to go that far necessarily every time, but
No.
but there is an amount of respect there, and I think that's all everybody like. You just
Yeah.
want to be respected.
Consideration.
You want you know you want to be respected.
Yeah.
You want
There are-
you want people to respect the fact that most likely you stayed up however many hours past your day job to fucking learn these lines, to prepare this. You did all the research you could. You drove over here. You know, you maybe spent an hour trying to convince somebody to switch a shift so you could.
Right.
Like, you know,
You probably spent money on a coaching.
exactly. You might have spent money on a coaching. So it's just like have the decency to just be like, hey, thanks so much for coming in. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
That it doesn't need much more than that.
Yeah.
But like as
Thanks,
opposed
brah.
to cool.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, no, that was really good.
It was really good.
You know what I mean?
Looking at my
Perfect.
phone.
Great. Thank you.
But unfortunately and fortunately, that's the business we're in, and that's why, you know, planes full of people are coming, but planes full of people are leaving
Going.
every
Sure.
day.
Yeah. No,
You
it's
know?
like I tell everyone, it's a business. You know, you'll find great people that know how to do their job, and you'll find horrible people that don't know how to do their job in every industry.
Sure.
But it crushes your soul. No, it's like- yeah. Yes. When was it? Last week, I went for a film, and they gave everyone the wrong sides, and they learned with me. And it was the first time in my career where I'm doing the read, and I look at the reader, and I stopped it. I'm like, let's stop. Are you good? What's going on? And it's like, you're reading the wrong side. So I'm like, no.
Just
Here.
Reading the
And
sides you gave me.
Yeah, they went outside and actually asked everyone. I went and pulled up the same size I had, and they're like scrambling, and they're like, just, let's cold read. What the hell? It's like,
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it was my first time, but it's the first time where I stopped it because I sensed that you are lost.
Yeah.
Why are you lost?
Yeah, you shouldn't be lost.
You were in this room.
I think that's kind of like the other mentality that you have to have, where there are no big deals.
No.
When you first start out in this business,
Everything's
everything's a big deal.
Everything feels like a big
Everything's
deal.
a freaking big deal. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And I really the actors who post up on their Facebook, I'm going into Warner Brothers Studio to go and audition for this right now. Stop making it a big deal, guys.
Yeah.
Because the last thing that you want is somebody a week from that day to be asking you, how'd that audition go from Warner Brothers Studios, and you didn't do anything.
Yeah, everybody tells your mom like 2 or 3 times about an audition early in her career, and then you realize, I can't do that. My mom will continue to ask me, like, how'd that go?
Not even that. When you actually film anything, you got to wait until they show it.
Right.
Because I did a guest starring on the unit where I had 20 pages. I had most of the script. But and I told my ex-wife at the time, we're like, don't tell anyone, because it's a cast of 7, and they're going to fucking cut me off because it's a cast of 7 people on that call sheet.
The unit.
They paid me for 2 weeks, and it reduced to 1 line. Hey, do you have your towels? And that's it. I still got paid. But she told everyone.
Or
everyone. And I'm like, damn, no.
Or how many shows do you watch where it's all focused on the series regular, and you got a guest star in the background who you could just tell is acting his heart out. He's got a monologue. I'm thinking about one show in particular right now that I just can't get through. But and the editing is all on the series reg. It's all on the series reg, and
that means the guest star didn't do their job.
Well, it depends. It's a big cast because it depends on when I'm in writer's room. If we have a cast like the unit, like as soon as I went to that show, I'm like, I'm not holding my breath, because if you have a cast of 7 people that are the main stars, regardless of the guest star, if the story plots are not following them, you're going to get cut. You're like the first one they're going to slash, because everyone needs to get their due.
Yeah.
And it also depends on the writer's room, too, because a lot of things happen in the writer's room that the actors don't know, and we're negotiating because the number 1 on the call sheet is now bitching that this doesn't work. And now the showrunner has to run. So there's a lot of things out of our control.
Of course.
That I'm like, don't tell anyone until I fucking see it, and then tell them maybe at the DVD when it's released. Not sooner.
Director's commentary on the DVD.
DVD. Good Lord.
Or how about if you're on a...
What year is this?
Old school.
Yeah, that's how. Yeah, you wait till we go back in time.
He was talking about the unit. The unit does feel like a long time ago now, doesn't it?
It
guess.
was a long time ago. I still get residuals.
How dare you call me old, you son bitch?
I still get listen.
That's a throwback to
That
half
one
an hour
line
ago.
still gets me pretty large residuals nowadays. So still, hey, fuck it.
Oh, thank God for residual checks. They've kept me out of the restaurant game for a very long time now.
There you go.
Right?
There you go.
God bless TV.
God bless it indeed.
But tell us about. Okay, so are you married?
I am.
All right,
With-
kids.
2.
Nice. All right, so I always go to family. So now with kids and a family, how do you balance life, career, family, kids, time?
I've been dealing with that decision today, actually. I think first and foremost, I have a wife that is extremely supportive.
What does your wife do?
She's a mom.
Right on.
Nice.
And a fucking great one. And I'm extremely lucky in that regard. And but she's very supportive of what I do, and I really run everything by her. So and it's always steered me in the right direction. So I think that you have to, if you're single with no kids, sure, you make decisions like that, and then things change, and I think that you have to look at kind of, I have boxes that need to be checked, like when I look at a job and financially, professionally, and then family. And usually if it checks 2 of the 3, then I go that direction. Like it either has to be really financially beneficial and maybe not great professionally, but really great financially and really great for my family, then I get it.
How's it work when you're on location?
My wife and I have like a 2.5 week rule. So we usually rarely go more than 2 weeks. I shot in Vancouver for 6. Okay. and the most we did was 3 weeks at one point.
Yeah.
So I'm back and forth when I need to be. But we pretty much. I mean, I did a movie in Bulgaria that was 3.5 weeks, and you're not bringing kids and a family to Bulgaria, so you just make that. You make that work. You know what I mean? Yeah. But if it's here, North Carolina, Vancouver, I mean anywhere that you can, then I'll get back.
Yeah. I also like asking you and I are the only people with kids in the room. So
yeah,
I'm living through that
it
right
changes,
now, making decisions.
Yeah, of course.
It's weird because they motivate you, like you want to do better, and you want to progress, but then you have to make the decision. God, okay, I'm going to be 6 months away. Do I really want to be that long away?
Yeah.
Especially like I've had to turn down a lot of writer stops because okay, I can't go to Vancouver for 6 months. And
sure.
I'm serious, I can't. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I like my child.
Of course. Yeah, and that's and those are things that that you have to decide, but at the end of the day, everybody's got their priorities, and if family is that, then you find a job that keeps you here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely affects it.
Ideally.
No doubt.
Oh, God.
I think Veronica's got a little segment coming up right now.
Oh, yes.
You want to get it? You want to jump into that?
Yep. Give me one
Are
moment.
you pulling that sucker
Are you pulling it up? When you
That was
ready,
a hell of a
did he
segue,
just
huh?
throw
You
it?
like that segue?
It's a great segue.
Yeah.
So, and Veronica's ready. I am.
Are you?
For kids?
Yes, I am. Actually, I do want a little brown one.
Oh, Jesus. You
They're
have no idea. Don't get this one started.
Stay away from my 2-year-old.
Yeah.
Stay away from my 2-year-old.
She's been trying to kidnap Landis's kid for...
My daughter is adorable and brown.
Have you seen her?
I have.
Yeah.
Have you seen
I have two
Samara?
boys, 3 and 5, soon to be 4 and 5. So
Oh, the fun age.
yeah, feel free. Come on, babies. Take 'em.
My best friend's son just turned 2 yesterday, and so we did FaceTime, and I wished him happy birthday because they're on the East Coast. I was gushing. It's so cute.
Yeah, 2's okay. 2's not great.
But it's my first nephew.
Yeah, well, that's
See,
big. That's
yeah.
big.
I'm
You know,
having-
5,
wait.
5, 4,
Yeah.
5. That's
Wait.
when it's
Stop.
fun.
I'm having fun
Stop.
with 2, though.
Not enough.
I thought
No,
everyone
no,
told
I'm
me
not
the
saying
same thing.
2's terrible. I'm
Yeah.
just saying 2's my 5-year-old. We roll to Home Depot and
That's cool.
we go to the batting cages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A
They can do
2-year-old, you're like, what's up? And they're just like,
Don't put your finger there.
yeah, please don't eat. No, don't put
eat.
scissors in that.
No,
What?
no.
Yeah. So it's, it gets, I feel like as they get older, there's just more and more stuff that,
Do you
can
post
with-
pictures of them everywhere when
No,
you
I have a social media.
No, I
policy
mean
with that.
when
No.
when you're on location and you get to a hotel room, do you have the
Oh, we FaceTime.
You FaceTime a lot?
Yeah, we FaceTime a lot. They love getting videos. I'll send them videos to usually I'll send them a good night or good morning videos. My wife will play them for them, but yeah. No, not on social media. No kids.
No
kids, no family, no
I agree.
wife.
That's smart. The
Me and
people that
work.
put-
I agree.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
throws me off are those filters that you put on pictures now that gives them makes the eyes bigger and adds little ears on babies. And
That's the only thing that I might post once, but I agree with you. I'm a firm believer that my daughter should have a choice of how many, because we used to, when we were old, all of us included, but the only time we were embarrassed by our pictures was when our girlfriends or somebody came to our house and our moms pull an album.
Yeah.
photo
Yeah.
album.
Now kids don't have that option, so I think it's a different
No,
generation that we should
yeah.
you
Yeah.
should have an option if I put a naked baby picture of you somewhere else.
Yeah.
forever.
Oh wow!
I just also think
Wow.
there's I just think it's a privacy thing.
Yeah.
It is a
Factor?
privacy thing. It's a safety thing. You
Yeah.
don't want anybody up in
No.
your business.
No.
People are. I mean, how do fans treat you when they meet you? For the most part.
I'm extremely lucky. I get when I get approached, it's always really respectfully. So
I would suspect you have a lot of video game fans too, huh?
I have a lot of video game fans, but most of my fans are from TV, and most of, knock on wood, the TV I've done is, good TV. I feel like, and so most of the fans.
Which
are,
role do you get recognized from the most? Do you think?
People love The Killing.
Yeah.
Vets love Generation Kill. Love Generation Kill.
It was a good series. It was
It was a really good series.
Yeah.
They love Generation Kill.
Do you have, a
Mad
line?
Men is obviously just because it's such a big show. What's funny is it's really interesting because people will come up. I had somebody yesterday say dude, I'm watching The Killing right now. And The Killing was 6 years ago. But like with Netflix now, people are just now watching The Killing, or just watching Jen Kill, or just watching Mad Men, or just checking up. So you get people that are just watching these series now. Whereas, like, back in the day, it pretty much lived in the moment it aired and then it died. Yeah. Whereas now it kind of lives on,
like a second coming.
Yeah. So I have a lot of people, I still get people coming up to me and like, oh, I'm watching Generation Kill right now. That was 10 years ago.
Is there like a line or something that people always have you do? Like, oh, you've got to say this from the show.
No, the one thing people, like, I would say in that ballpark is, this is a huge spoiler alert for The Killing, so if you didn't watch The Killing, earmuffs for like 5 seconds. But people like will always be like, "You killed her! I can't believe you're the fucking killer!" Like I actually had somebody in New York when I was in New York doing a job right when the season 2 finale aired. And, like, I had this dude come up to me on the street and was just, like, yelling at me. He's like, "You're a fucking asshole. I can't believe you fucking killed Rosie." Whoa. And I had to be like, bro.
Easy.
I'm an actor.
I play one on TV.
Yeah. I'm also the ghost in Scooby-Doo, but I'm not really a ghost.
You're not?
But, yeah, it's most about killing Rosie.
Is specifically killing Rosie.
That sounds like an Alice in Chains song.
I was going to say,
like a band name.
Killing Rosie.
Metallica.
I think I saw them at Coachella last year, Killing Rosie.
Right.
Killing Rosie.
A good band.
So, question I do have for you. All right, so since you've been in the industry for a while, and obviously you have like made your share of like mistakes that you're like, oh, good to know. For actors coming in like a bus, like today, and if they were to walk up to you and say, what is the one thing that you would share with me, what would it be? Like to keep in mind, whether it's like mental health or balance or
tenacity, just continue to, but make it a profession. Like make auditioning and acting a profession.
Yeah.
It's and I think early, a lot of times the reason so many people leave here early is because they come and they Hollywood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And by the way, we all did.
Yeah.
I did.
We were in our 20s and it's hard not to. It's really fun here.
I'm in Hollywood.
Yeah. And you're like going out and doing all those things.
Away from my family, my parents, no rules.
And by the way, you should take advantage of it. But you should also do it smart. Be prepared. Yeah. And like treat it like a job.
Yeah.
And that's the only way you're going to make it a job.
Treat it like a job.
Treat it like a job.
What do you do something daily for your acting?
Yeah, I mean, I think that because of the nature, I'm extremely fortunate, and knock on wood, but I'm busy. You know what I mean? So I'm not in class currently, oftentimes, which I miss because I really do like being in class and I love working with people. But between the work, auditions, working on something, I'm developing a show that I'm currently pitching. Between all of that, like I'm pretty much digging in every day. I have a partner of mine I have 2 people in particular that I work every scene, every audition I go in, I work on them and they work on theirs with me and we work together. And I would say minimum 4 days a week we're working together because either they have something or I do. Right. So and we're busy.
Oh, so it's kind of like a little class in itself.
I mean, it's just 3 of us who trust each other. You know what I mean? So
So the stuff that you're working on, is it for like a live audition, or are you just grabbing material from?
No, it's for auditions. Okay. Yeah, it's for appointments. Cool. But that's not the case for everybody, and I understand that. But
before that, you did something. You were
always. I was always in class. Like
right.
I was always in class, and if it was scene study class, I was working on something every day.
Right.
If I was, I do voiceover work. So I mean. At the rate I do voiceover auditions, it's like if you're doing voice. I mean, it's like
There's sometimes
It's
like
nonstop.
3 to 5 a day.
Yeah,
sometimes on a good run. Yeah.
Exactly. So none of which I get, but
I know it's like shooting arrows in the dark, right?
It might be worse than that.
Yeah, it's nuts.
It's so crazy.
kind of
Somebody was like, "You must do a ton of voiceover."
Yeah.
I was like, "In my room." I mean, like I get video
So.
games. I've done some animated shows and animated movies, but like I would say commercials. I bet I've read for over 2,000 commercials. I've never gotten one.
In
Well,
how
it
much
seems
period of
like-
time? How much would you say? Like your entire time of being
I would
in LA?
say, I started doing voiceover maybe 8 years ago.
Okay.
I'd say in 8 years. I probably might have read for 5,000 in 8 years.
Yeah.
And I've never gotten one. Never once. I just apparently I do not say Dodge Ram the right way.
The way that they want.
Either that or just Sam Elliott says it better than me. And so
I
does
think
John
Sam-
Hamm.
yeah.
Sam
You know what I
Elliott,
mean?
Done and
Like-
done.
Sam Elliott's got that.
Like there's
thing.
been times I've had laryngitis and they've sent me stuff and I've been like, oh, I can do this. This is great. I smoked last night. Like, this is great. You know?
I'm all scratchy.
Ram. They're like too deep. I was like, damn.
Too deep.
Oh, I love voiceover.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
But I stay active, man, for sure. And then I take time off.
what do you?
I go
do?
on vacation and I play golf or whatever, but I I was on vacation for the last 10 days and turned my brain to mush. And I think that's important too. You know
What do
what I mean?
what's your guilty pleasure when you like go on vacation and turn your mind to mush?
I love to play golf.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to play golf.
Right on.
And go to the gym. I
Gym's-
have to do something active. I'm not like a gym rat. I'm not like a spring break Joe.
A Hulk out.
But I like to
Yeah.
box and I like to run and I like to, I just those are my
Keep it
places
moving.
where I meditate.
Keep it moving.
Meditative state.
Yeah, I'm in the same spot. Mm-hmm. Ronnie, did you find your material?
I did.
You want to go for it?
I did, yes. So
All right, hang on a second. Let me just introduce you here. All right, so this is Ronnie with question. Well, here's Ronnie.
That was professional.
great transition.
That was great. Wait. Do you agree with that?
I was like, oh, I like this song, and then I realized, wait, what is this introducing? Like, this is a segment of.
Hey, I was asking you before for like sound bites.
So you chose Man Eater?
For now,
Well, you did want a baby.
I was gonna say you've been talking about your baby.
you're always
I'm not
so
gonna
violent.
eat a man to get a baby.
But you're
Like
so
I don't.
violent.
Are you sure? What if it's delicious?
Little habanero sauce.
Dot. Moving on, being the only one staying professional on this show. All right, so
This is a professional show.
what we've started doing is screening questions from you guys that you post on our social media or on so Twitter or Instagram, as well as iTunes.
Or they could email us also, right?
They could email us as well. That's something we can introduce. It's at HUAWLA@gmail.com. Any questions that you send, you will be able to hear me say your name on these podcasts and then proceed to say your questions verbatim. All right, so the first one we've got is from Glenn H. The question he wants to post is there any benefit in having a social media presence? And that question is for the guest as well as anybody else who wants to jump in.
Well, nowadays, yes.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like and I say it coming from a writer's room. It's true that social media influence, but if you have a good showrunner, they'll kind of put the stop on that. But it does help. It does help. It doesn't hurt.
I'm going to go the other way in the sense that if you've got an amount of followers that makes a difference.
Right.
I don't know that if you've got, 500 followers, like you're not going to get a job because of it. You're not going to lose a job because, well, maybe you will, but but if you got 2 million followers,
That's pretty legit.
then yes,
Yeah.
you're then
Well, then you're bringing an audience with you.
Yeah.
But
right?
that's,
that's the whole-
they
that's the
can
whole
direct
thing.
market to your
Right.
audience. But by the way, I just did a show with an actor with 2 million followers, and it did not do that.
Right.
So
So it doesn't always translate into
it doesn't always translate.
Well, were
you
they
know?
known as like a social media influencer?
Yes.
And that's what got them hired? Or did they
not gonna
become
go
one
as long.
because of the show?
No.
There is a difference between an
But I'm not going to say
influencer
that's
and, like,
why they got hired.
Okay.
I'm not I'm not in a place where I can say that. But I think that, yes, they are most definitely an influencer.
Yeah.
But it didn't translate.
All right. I have been in auditions where, like, the form they have you fill out, it also says, and what is your handle for Instagram and Twitter? I was
That's
like,
weird.
Wow.
I've never done that.
Is that a
in 20 years.
theatrical audition?
Yeah, it was theatrical.
Or commercial?
It was theatrical.
For what?
Really?
I'm trying to remember.
It had
what
to be
was
like
for.
an indie film.
I'm trying to remember what it was from. It was a while ago.
I mean, it would have to be like an independent film that, like, really wanted help.
Yeah, to get it out to the audience.
Promote, yeah.
Because on the
I can't
network
imagine
level,
that. They would, no. I mean, not unless you're talking about somebody with 2, 5, 6 million followers.
Yeah,
Right.
that'll come in
Right.
later and submit it with a short. But also, like, now they're refining it. I just spoke with my friend. I can't mention his name, but it's on a hit show as a writer right now, just right hand of the showrunner. But now they're refining it a little bit because they're finding out that they're like, just because you have 2 million doesn't mean they're going to watch a show. Like a 16-year-old's not going to watch CSI, whatever.
Yeah.
So they're becoming more specific with
Yeah,
it
of course.
because they're learning.
Yeah, of course.
Years later, but now they're
So
to
answer his question, I think it can make a difference, but I think it depends. I wouldn't
the other thing
think
with,
you
like,
need to start a handle, and all of a sudden, if you have,
The other thing with the influencers is just like a couple of years ago. Maybe Netflix is still doing it, but they're like building shows around some
YouTube Red does.
YouTube
Red.
stars.
Red,
YouTube
yeah.
Red's doing
Yeah,
it.
YouTube-
Yeah.
YouTube Red, but,
the YouTube Red failed. Like I worked for them. Like they hired a studio executive to fix it because they did that in the beginning. I'm never going to be hired by them anyway. So, but in the beginning, they took a lot of influencers and realized like, oh, people only like you for 2 minutes. You can't hold a show for a half hour. And now they restructured the whole thing where they have the ex-CEO, I think, of Paramount coming in. All their shows are legitimate. Like Cobra Kai is actually their biggest hit. And,
Yeah,
Cobra Kai is a great show.
But it's a very well-written show. Like, they work that show to the bone.
Yeah.
But that's what they're doing. They're like, we might put in an influencer, but it better be very well structured
Sure.
or something they can do.
Yeah. At the end of the day, if you're good at what you do,
Yeah.
that's what matters most.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Rockin'. Well, and the second question I have is from Kylie, and she says, I've been struggling with the decision of whether or not to join the union. Do I wait until my resume is a certain length and then join?
I think if you've got the opportunity to join, you join.
Yeah, I'm of the same. I'm kind of old school in
I
the
mean-
sense that when I started and I was non-union, I was getting a lot of callbacks, but nobody was booking me. And then the week after I got my union card, I booked my first job. I feel like it's kind of telling the universe I'm ready to work.
Oh, but then
Right.
what if you've got somebody coming in, brand spanking new, has no credits to the name whatsoever, and they start like getting all these like student jobs or student films and like indies and all these things, and they're all non-union. What do you do when you've got that kind of credits? Do you join the union and then you no longer have access to those?
Why? You can still do those.
Wouldn't you have to go FICOR to do that?
I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know
For
the
non-union
ins and
work-
outs. But here's the thing. What did you come here to do? Student films, or did you come here to do
Yeah,
like
legit stuff.
big boy television and film?
Right.
Okay, well then join the fucking union.
Plus, also you got some time just because you're SAG eligible.
Yeah.
You got some
but I
time.
wouldn't let it lapse. Is
Yeah.
my point.
Yeah.
Oh no,
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think you could be SAG eligible, and I would ride that out till you have to make the decision.
Yeah.
But then
Must
once you
join.
do, I mean, there's also a lot of great things about health insurance and all the other things that comes with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
So.
God bless that health insurance.
Yeah,
right?
so I mean, I just think that you have to I would ride it out, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't pass it up.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good.
Anything else?
Those are the questions
Those are
that
your-
I have at
those are your
present. So
questions?
if you
All right.
guys want us to to ask your questions on air, that's funny. It's a recording. It's great. There's air.
On air.
There's air present.
Live. We're live.
We're live. We're live.
There's oxygen.
And we'll drop this at some time this year. Go ahead and make sure that you post your questions on our social media, Instagram and Twitter, as well as apparently our email at hurryalapodcast@gmail.com.
All right. We're going to do a little, play another little game here. Here you go, Landis.
Oh, it's time for the game?
Yeah. I don't have an intro for this
Game
yet.
time.
Hang on one second. I'm going to grab you a pen, too.
I got a
Landis.
pen. I came ready.
You got a pen?
I came ready.
Okay, cool.
And am I the only one noticing that Jorge's just knocking everything down? And because we gotta acknowledge that that's the noise happening.
The thunk,
What are we
thunk,
talking about?
thunk, thunk.
Well, I'm not going to get into it, but okay.
All right.
I mean, there's other noise on the recording, but that's okay.
So we
anyway,
are now
coming back to this.
introducing our next game is famous movie scene Mad Libs.
I don't-
Keep changing the title.
Keep changing it. We
Mad Libs is like the
talked
book,
about it.
right?
Yeah.
Will you like ask for like an
Yep,
adjective or a
yep,
verb and
yep.
like all
Right.
that? Mhm.
So we're doing these with famous movie
Cold
scenes,
read
right?
of Mad Libs.
Yeah, it's going to be a cold
Cold
read of
read.
Mad Libs.
Cold read of
I'm going to Landis and I are going to fill it out for you and for Veronica.
Okay.
You guys perform the scene
Yes.
over the audio,
Awesome.
and then guess what it is.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right. So,
So Landis, you do Veronica's lines, and
Female.
I'll do Eric's lines.
I'm doing female.
All right. So first question, give me a noun.
Ooh.
Oh, who are you talking to?
Eric.
All right. You're doing the male, so you gotta ask Eric.
Eric.
Yeah.
Give me a noun.
Dog.
Dog.
So
okay.
much pressure.
or are we all giving suggestions? Is that how you want?
Nah. Well, should we try it that way?
Well,
All right. First one I hear.
Okay. Cool.
First one I hear. Okay. Famous person.
Share.
Johnny Depp.
Share. Fuck you.
Okay.
So hard.
Give me another famous No. Give me another noun.
Watermelon.
What was that?
Plant.
Plant. Okay.
Waterland.
Watermelon.
Oh, okay.
One more noun.
Tabbouleh.
Tabbouleh.
What is tabbouleh?
You know, like the Greek
Yeah,
dish.
It's like parsley with lemon. It's really tasty. Freshens your breath.
Look at these classy motherfuckers right here. I
So
don't know what the fuck
fancy.
that was.
Oh,
My
international.
spelling might not be
All
that
right.
great, but there you go.
That's
All
fine.
right,
I'll
Landis, go. Female.
All right. Give me a famous last
Famous last what?
name.
Name. Ooh.
Markle.
Barrymore.
Well, we need two. So Markle and Barrymore.
All right. I'm gonna massacre the spelling of it. So.
Okay.
All right, and Barrymore.
Okay. Those go into the same one. So just fill out the next one with Markle and Barrymore.
All right. Oh, Markle.
And Barrymore.
Okay.
Okay.
I like this. Easy.
And then the next one is the full name
Of what?
of the same two people that we just used.
Megan.
And
Megan.
Drew.
Markle.
Meghan Markle.
Drew
Drew
Barrymore.
Barrymore. Okay.
She's
And
a princess.
then we need a country.
Wakanda.
Wakanda.
Uruguay.
Uruguay. Nice.
Where? Are we doing Wakanda?
No, I went with Wakanda, yeah.
Okay.
That was the first one I heard.
All right.
And then it's Markle and Barrymore again.
All right.
All right, cool. And then
Wait,
you flip the side really quick.
Give me a second here. I write like a 2-year-old.
You were about to say you typed really slow.
I'm gonna
A building.
a building,
A building? Empire State?
a place, a building. Empire State. Okay.
Twin Towers. Is that dark?
Too soon? Question
No.
mark?
That
Question
was
mark?
2001.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
two tsunami.
But it's in our lifetime.
Occupation.
Nakatomi Tower. That's what I should have gone.
Nakatomi
Nakatomi.
Tower.
I already put Empire. I don't All right.
I'm gonna erase it though and go with Nakatomi Tower.
Keep the script consistent, boys.
Nakatomi Tower. All right. Occupation.
Masseuse.
Again, my spelling not that great.
I'm gonna.
Just sound it out, okay? Masseuse.
Spell it phonetically, and we'll figure it
I
out.
spelled it Mayuse.
A moose.
And then finally, one last noun.
Bookshelf?
Bookshelf.
Come on.
Do you want
Okay.
some
All right. Oh, are we done?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
All right, so it's front and back.
I didn't write Mel, so you don't have to worry about that.
All right.
So I'm just reading what's highlighted.
You're
correct?
just reading what's highlighted.
Female.
You guys, yeah,
What's highlighted.
male and
I'm reading
female.
male.
Groovy. Groovy.
Perform it to the best of your abilities. It's cold read.
Do it. And action.
Get your dog down. Depp. You gotta get your fucking plank down. Get up some dirt with that Tabooly.
Excuse me. I wanted to talk to you about Corporal Markle and Private Barrymore.
Say again. Now I know what it is.
Markle and Barrymore.
Those names sound like they should mean something to me, but
Meghan Markle and Drew Barrymore. Your clients?
the Wakanda thing. Yes, Markle, Barrymore. Right. I've done something wrong, haven't I?
I was wondering why you two guys have been in Nakatomi Tower since this morning while their masseuse is outside hitting a bookshelf.
We needed the practice.
That wasn't funny.
That was a little funny. Is this A Few Good Men?
Yay!
Yeah.
Damn.
I went straight Jack Nicholson as soon as I knew.
As soon as you recognize it, he's so angry.
As soon as I knew. As soon as it was Corporal
Yeah.
and Private. What were their real names? Corporal
Dawson and Downey.
Dawson and Downey.
Classic film.
Excuse me. I want. Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's the Wakanda thing.
Oh, it's the Wakanda.
I lost it. Oh my
Yeah. I was questioning that
was
choice, but it worked.
That was plant, not packed. That was plant. Plant, not plat.
And then for a second, I forgot that we said masseuse, and I was like, Mazuse?
Yeah. I warned you.
You did.
I warned you.
You did. And then in the heat of the moment, I forgot. And then I was like, oh, that's the word he couldn't spell.
No.
Was this the softball?
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
when Demi Moore comes up to Tom Cruise,
Yeah.
and he's at the softball game. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
That's
Excuse
funny.
me, I want to talk to you. Yep. All right.
Love the movie, but then they're too pretty to be lawyers.
Too
And then-
pretty.
Dude, that was an
Still
all-timer, though.
But one of his best performances,
Oh, yeah.
I
no,
think.
yeah.
I mean, between that and Magnolia,
No, he was great in that. I mean,
he was
actually-
fantastic in that.
yeah, he was great.
My favorite of his performance is Tropic Thunder. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Tropic
Tropic Thunder.
Thunder.
It's
that's
the
a good
first time
one.
I've seen him like, okay, I'm just going to do something completely out of the box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make fun of myself. It's
He was also great in like the first Mission Impossibles before he was 80.
Yeah.
Like, he was
Before
awesome.
he was 80
What
and
do you
his
think about
love
this
interest
new
was
one?
20.
I'm in. I'm going to go see it.
I don't really see
know.
movies anymore.
Ving Rhames, Simon Pegg. You don't see movies anymore.
Not as much as I want to.
Oh, well, you have children.
It's like, yeah, I need to get the movie pass.
Yes.
My wife and I need to do
Yes.
Yeah, I have a
Highly
movie
recommend.
that. I heard they're raising it.
They're making all these different rules though. It used to be unlimited every month. Now it's down to 4. So
4 a month?
4 a month.
Well, I could never
Which
get
is-
out more than that anyway.
right,
so-
which is
Yeah.
still worth it. Still worth the price.
Yeah, and
then they're
AMC
So like
changing-
$9.99.
They're a
But
month.
isn't one of them doing their own?
AMC is doing their own thing too, which is like $20 a month.
And then,
but
like-
it's all AMC. It's like totally off anything you want to do.
So it's not Movie Pass. Is it something completely different?
Yeah, no, it's
like
AMC
it?
theaters.
Because right now, Movie Pass, they're changing their rules as well. So they're limiting even more so how often you can go at certain times in certain theaters, like depending on like if it's blockbuster weekend or box
Do you get
office weekend.
grandfathered in if you got in before all these rules?
no, they
I
changed
don't
them.
think so. I think they're updating it for everybody.
That's
So
not
can you
cool.
go? I mean, like ArcLight is the closest to me. Would I be able to go to ArcLight?
It doesn't work for ArcLight.
I don't
But it
think-
does work for
The Grove?
For the Grove.
Yeah, it does
and
work for the Grove.
Mann's.
I've been there.
Okay.
Or is it
Yeah,
Mann's?
but the
Grauman's?
Regal.
What is it? Regal.
Yeah.
It works
I
for
don't know.
Regal.
Okay.
ArcLight is the only one it doesn't work for.
Yeah, Arco, it's their own thing.
Right.
But $20 tickets
Yeah, but
Yeah, it's
ArcLight, I
crazy.
mean,
for
to
and
go to
then
ArcLight
buy
is an
concessions.
event.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to go see Black Panther on a Friday night at the ArcLight in the Dome. Oh,
Forever.
you can't see us, but we're shimmying.
We're shimmying. If you think that's shimmying, we need to have a conversation.
Okay, this show has gone off.
We're going off the deep road. But no, Chadwick Boseman and
Yeah.
and a director showed up
Nice.
for opening night. It was pretty awesome.
That's pretty
That's
cool.
cool.
What's your dream role? If you were, I mean,
I don't know about dream role.
or if you were to be a Marvel character, what Marvel character would you be?
This might end the podcast.
Oh shit!
Oh,
I don't
do it.
I don't like watch Marvel movies. No Marvel movies. Do Marvel movies. I don't.
Oh,
Yeah.
that one was me.
I
My
was going to
laptop
say, was
hit
that
the mic.
real or?
that wasn't a sound effect. That was Veronica just blowing her mind.
Yeah.
It blew my mind so much I threw my
I mean,
laptop at the mic.
Listen, I have gotten more into since my kids because I read them stuff with that. Like
Nice.
I feel like Iron Man is pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you said reading. You're reading them too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like reading different character books to them.
Yeah.
And they're really into it.
Yeah.
And they're into superheroes.
Yeah.
So I like Iron Man. I like kind of more traditional. I like Spider-Man.
Me too.
Yeah, Spider-Man's
Yeah.
a shit.
Old school.
But I don't go to I didn't go to Avengers or I just
He's like, which one?
I mean, it just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah.
So what's your genre then of movie? What's the kind
I
of
see a lot of different movies,
Disney.
but I just right Disney.
Disney.
But last movie we saw actually was Black Panther.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I watch everything on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Netflix
Because
is
it's
beautiful.
we're at home and we can and the quality of stuff right now is film-esque.
Yeah, we are kind of in a golden age, aren't
And
we?
but that being said, I go sit down in a movie theater and the trailers start running and I get chills every time.
Yeah.
You know, I love
Yeah.
going to the theater. I would love to do a Western. That's kind of what's on my I'm putting out to the universe. I would love to do a Western.
Somebody
right
has
now.
to revive that. Like
Yeah,
the
bring
Western
it back.
film, it's...
Well, I feel like Yellowstone's out right now. I haven't watched it. They just did Godless.
I was just
That's
going
right,
to
yeah,
say,
which I didn't
Godless
see.
is fantastic.
Yeah, but that on TV it'd work, but in the big screen, like Westerns fail for some reason.
But they're cheap to make. So I mean,
Yeah.
and 310 to Yuma was
310 to Yuma,
was
or
amazing.
maybe Hell and High Water a little bit,
That was
but
a
not
modern
really. That was a
Western.
modern, yeah. But I would love to do a Western.
That could be cool.
Me too, man.
Yeah.
Me too. You, me, and Nick Gonzalez.
Let's
When
do
we had
it.
Nick Gonzalez in here, he was like, "Yeah, I want to do a Western." I was like, "Let's do it."
Nice, nice. I saw Nick in Vancouver last year because his show and my show were starting at the same time,
Right on.
Nice.
and he'll be back and I won't. So there you go.
Well, you'll get another one right off the bat. Don't worry.
Yeah, I got a job today, which I'm stoked on.
Nice.
Okay, cool.
Congrats.
Yeah, so it's good.
Okay.
So I'm ready.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm ready.
He's always ready.
Working for Apple.
Apple.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
New medium. We'll see.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah,
Everybody's throwing their hat
That's right.
in.
I forget. They are getting into it. They're
Yep.
late. But
They're
getting
like,
into
they're
it.
getting
So
there.
Yeah,
They're gonna
putting
have their own platform?
Loads of money into it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, them
Yeah.
and Facebook are basically
They have so
throwing
much money to
at
give.
Yeah.
Are they
Yeah.
partnering with Facebook?
No,
or is
no,
it
no,
a separate
no,
thing?
no,
No. It'll
Example.
be Apple's
Just an
own
example.
Yeah,
interface.
everyone is kind of coming into late to the Netflix game.
Yeah.
But Facebook, Apple, YouTube, they're just throwing money.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Like,
Amazon was doing it, Hulu was doing it,
Yeah.
AT&T
Yeah.
tried it for a
Tried
little
it for 2
while.
seconds.
Yeah, my friend-
Crackle.
Disney,
Yeah.
Disney.
Paramount,
Yeah, Disney's about
They're all doing it.
DC Universe.
Deep
coming out.
Marvel
But
or DC. Yep.
Disney's about. It's going to be 2 years before, but when their contracts are up with Netflix, they're going to just isolate everything in their own
Yeah,
platform.
everybody's basically
Yeah.
just trying to get their own library.
But
So.
my friend Nat, who was with my friend Jake at Whistle of the Crowds, when that show got canceled, she booked a YouTube Red show in South Africa.
Oh, wow.
And the last time I spoke to her, she's like, "You won't believe the amount of money they're paying me."
Yeah.
And she was 2 on the call sheet, and her 2 on the call sheet on Whistle of the Crowds, CBS network show.
Yeah.
And she's like, "No, you don't get it.
Yeah.
This is FU money they're throwing
Yeah.
at me.
Yeah.
YouTube is throwing FU money at me right
Yeah.
now." She's living the life right now in South Africa in a mansion.
Good for her.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Fuck that.
All right. So now that we've completed.
Okay.
All right. So wait. I gotta set.
No,
the
don't set
timer.
timers. I'm trying a new thing here. Don't set timers yet because I got to do a test so I can next time. I've been on time in 3 shows in a row, so give me this one, people.
All right, but I'm cutting you off at 5 minutes and 30 seconds.
Oh, and it's not going to go that long.
5 minutes.
and 30 seconds.
That's not, all right.
Should I get a beer now?
Maybe.
You should.
Get him
because
another one.
I got 5
right.
pages I'm going to read right now.
Dear Lord.
No, so let's get into this right now in 3, 2, 1. All right. What the fuck, Hollywood? All right, so it's time for award season. And we just got the nominees for the Emmys for 2008. And, we all love... Let me read this. You got it?
Yep.
I can't hear myself, so I lost it. Okay, so, and like I said, for us trying to make it in the industry, this year, everyone, the award season are pretty good because we live in an industry where we're rejected half of the time, like when Sheila did that 1 year in Camp Titicaca. I miss you. I really miss you. Anyways, we as actors, we need these awards to be validated, fulfillment, and also to get a major bump in our salary because that's what it really does. Except if you're black, Hispanic, Asian, Muslim, disabled, a child, most members of the LGBTQA community, or any women. But other than that, you get a really huge bump. But here's my thing. With any awards show, it's kind of the same nominees every year in and year out. which is the same. And I get it, Emmys. I get it. That's safe. That's normal. But your job is literally to sit down and watch TV and Netflix and pick the best ones for your members to decide who gets the fucking award. That is the easiest job in the world. And I get it that it's really safe and easy. And NBC and CBS text you every day to see how you are. And Netflix and Hulu are like the young kids that buy you presents that make you feel young and hip. And HBO and Showtime are like that couple that invite you into a room because they give you the best rim job in the world. I get it, but it's still, it gets stale and it gets old. And you need to take risks because there's a ton of things out there that you're missing out. And my point is that if you don't experience the new, then how are you going to grow? How are you going to fulfill as an awards show? So my advice to you is please take the time. See the new thing. Do you think Game of Thrones is going to be with you? No. They're going to stab you in the back so they can go fuck their brother as they're riding a fire-breathing dragon. Do you think Blackish is going to back you up? No, they're just holding the door for Atlanta to come in, and they got that. So, as a friend, take risks. Bring in other shows. Tell them, you know what? I'm going to nominate this one, and if you don't like it, you can go eat a dick because you deserve it. You should take pride in what you do. You should be more accomplished. And Sheila, I love you, and I miss you, baby. Come back. But that's my rant for today.
Baby, come back.
And that's it.
Boom.
Boom, 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 boom. How long was that?
I actually I wasn't timing it.
Oh, I needed your help to get the timing.
You didn't tell me to time it. I was like, I'm going to time it. You said, no, don't do it because I thought it was
Yeah, I did say it. I did say it.
So I did.
I did say it. I was wrong. But, yeah.
We
if you want to watch the...
he said he was wrong.
Yeah, but if you...
we have that on tape.
Yeah.
We have it on tape that Landis admits that
I was wrong. But if you read the nominee list, it's pretty much the same as last year.
It's
except
the
for
same
Atlanta.
stuff over and over and over again?
Shit,
same nominees?
Same shit.
No room for anything new.
No, I mean, every once in a while they're like, "Hey, Handsman and Tell, how are you? Come here, kick it with us," and all that.
You know what? I
but
really would have nominated Cobra Kai for something.
Yeah, but that's the issue.
Or what if there's not enough categories?
No, it's not. It's not.
Or what if there's not? I mean, if there's too much content and not enough categories?
I don't think it's that. I think it's laziness. Because if you as an organization, your sole purpose is to basically sit for an entire year, see what comes out, and I know there's a ton of it. There's a fucking ton of it. I get it. But that is your sole purpose. That is your sole purpose, besides raising money and funding and all that shit. Sole purpose is to watch shit, decide what you think is good, so your members decide what they want to award, and that's it. In the gist of it. I'm simplifying it. That is your purpose. But you do get lazy because in this industry, you're like, oh, we like the parties and the dining, so let's just nominate because they're good. That's it. It's easier to pick the ones that are always good than actually looking at a Cobra Kai and saying, that's fucking brilliantly written. Let's nominate that for best writing or best comedy. They don't do that. And also...
Well, that's what I'm saying is I think there needs to be because once upon a time you were dealing with 4 networks.
Yeah.
Okay? You were dealing with CBS, NBC, ABC, and sometimes Fox came around as something new, right? And then HBO showed up, and then Showtime, and then all of a sudden... Hulu and Amazon and Netflix and all these and everybody's getting a network right now and has content right now and everybody's trying to pump out really great stuff.
Yeah.
So there is a multitude of stuff, but not all of it is in the same genre or in the same vein. It's all subjective to begin with. To say somebody is the best actor or to say something is the best picture is a completely subjective point of view to begin with.
Yeah, but
so why not separate it into categories of genre at least?
Yeah, but it goes to my point that they're being lazy. It goes to that they're just being lazy. They can make categories, they can watch it, but it's easier. Like Orphan Black.
Right.
I won an Emmy. I want one for myself, but I don't respect them because Orphan Black, this Tatiana, I forget her last name. Yeah. The only actor playing 9 to 10 fucking roles per episode, all distinct, all great, all flushed out, and that poor woman nominated 6 times, never. But what's his name from Shameless? What's his name?
William H. Macy?
Yeah.
Full respect for his work, great. But if you really watch that show, he's not the main character in that show. Those kids are. And that motherfucker wins all the time. That's not fair. That's laziness. That's like, okay, this guy's a great actor. We've seen him work. He won Oscars. Psh, that's it. But also the problem is that the voting is like the Oscars. These guys are ancient. To get into an Emmy nominee, you need, it's ridiculously hard to just become a voter for the Emmys. But these guys are in the 60 plus.
Well, I mean, that goes into a whole other conversation of that we need more diversity in the Emmy voters as well. Because then let's talk about how many people of color are
exactly. But that's my issue.
Here.
Like they like Blackish because it's a great show, but they're like, okay, that's good enough. Mm-hmm. And now Atlanta is another great show that they nominated this year. But if Blackish wasn't nominated, Atlanta would never get a shot. Like it needed.
You don't think so with the talent that he's got on that show?
No, because it's not. I'm not basing it on the talent. I'm basing it on the people voting, and the majority of the Emmy nominees are white older males past 65.
I think you might be giving a little too much credit in the sense that the people that are involved in Atlanta, like the execs, the casting, are. They've all been in the game a while.
Yeah.
And they all, like, the writers, they're all, probably have been nominated before. But I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, but
I'm with you.
It's a ton of little problems that need to be fixed.
A lot of it is also very political, and a lot of
it's
how much money that the network and the production puts behind the advertising for the project.
Yeah, it's
putting up billboards for your consideration.
Yeah,
also,
or
what is it?
Greasing palms.
Like,
what does it really matter at the end of the day? So long, that's what I'm saying because it's such a subjective. I think awards are bullshit.
Also, it really. Just speaking from somebody who like goes to Texas all the time, and people like they don't care.
No,
they don't even watch the show.
No,
it's all for like our own little bubble of validation.
Yeah, it is. No, it is. And listen, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I want those awards. I want that in my trophy. I like fucking trophies. I'm going to say it, but it is just for us. But again, it comes down to if your organization has a purpose for your organization, is the sole purpose is just to wash shit. And think and give an opinion like I think this is the best thing.
But isn't the Emmys? Aren't people on the Emmy nominating committee?
Yeah. There's a nominating committee that does the nominees and then they just throw it out to their.
Oh, okay.
Because
I'm like on the SAG nominating committee, and there is no possible way I could get through all that stuff. Now, the things I try to go by category.
That's what I'm saying.
And I only vote on the ones that I watched. If I didn't watch it, I won't vote on it.
Exactly. No, SAG does it another way where it's flawed because I was in the nominating committee one year because it's a lottery. You get picked one day.
Yeah.
But, again, like you, I don't have the time to watch everything. But I even though the Oscars, they get made fun of because they're like, oh, I've never seen that movie, I kind of respect them because they're like, listen, I know this movie wasn't widely distributed, but our committee saw it. We thought it was good. None of you saw it, but we're going to nominate it.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I respect that.
Yeah.
No one sees those fucking movies. No one in the Midwest sees those movies.
No,
but,
I think about all the screeners that I get sometimes from SAG. Just for the screen. I don't watch all of those
screeners. I don't have a DVD
screeners.
player. I mean, you obviously do. You still got the DVD.
I still do,
yeah.
very much.
No, I give them away to students.
Excuse me,
but
and a VCR player.
Ooh,
nice.
I cut that.
Oh no, I still have my anime from the 90s. I watch my shit.
Anime.
Yeah,
Nice.
I watch my Dragon Ball Z on VHS.
I'm just thinking, like, when it comes into when I think of awards like the Oscars and the Emmys, like the big ones, I think why not have a place for, why is it just Best Picture overall? Why isn't it Best Drama or Best Comedy or Best Sci-Fi for that matter? Especially in the Emmy category, because there is too much to choose from right now. And that way everybody has their winner. If you're a sci-fi geek and your favorite show is that new Star Trek show on CBS Access, Discovery,
they're pushing hard for an Emmy.
And they're pushing hard for an Emmy, then maybe they win Best Sci-Fi Emmy as opposed to just going for Best Emmy overall.
No, and you do Best Streaming. Like, one thing is like, you
need to create more categories is what I'm saying.
It's really hard for a show that has commercials that's 43 minutes to compete with a show that's an hour with no commercials.
Right. Yeah.
You have to write it a different way. You have to commit. It's just a different business model.
Style.
I think eventually there has to be a separate category for like network television and streaming television.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
because cable does have an unfair advantage that like, hey, we can put whatever the fuck we want. We don't have the FCC to contend with.
Right.
So
Yeah, put up
We also
Patrick
don't have to
Melrose
write-
up against the Blacklist.
yeah.
Right?
But-
I mean, there's
Possible.
two. Yeah, those are completely two different.
Yeah, no, and I'm of two minds because sometimes, like, when I'm in the writer's room and when I get lucky enough to work for network, in the writer's room, it does push us to try to do better with the little that we have. So I kind of dig it, but it's still not an unfair advantage that.
Well, it's made for better television. I mean,
because
that's
because
how the viewer wins.
The
out.
amount of times in a writer's room that I forget what the rules and regulations, whatever they're called, their title, that comes into the room and you just see. And the strategy that you have to go over, like if I'm doing that episode and I want this scene that I know is going to be rejected, I got to give them 10 scenes. I got to spend time creating 10 scenes that are so horrendous that they'll think this one's the best one.
Yeah.
And it's just a waste of
You
time.
also have to write act outs for commercials.
Yeah.
You have to write all stuff that you would normally not have to do.
and then if
It's almost like you're filibustering.
Yeah, no, but it also is, if it's a CSI that's been for that many seasons, they're like, oh, this advertiser doesn't like this, so rewrite this fucking shit
Yeah.
right now. It's
Or we need you to
keeps you
put
creative.
CarPlay in the GP.
exactly. Oh, yeah, exactly. Or we have
Product
Ford.
placement.
Yeah, so you got to write lines for the Ford commercial that we have in the show somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
And
Bones
these are
was a
tie-ins.
master at that.
Yeah.
Or like
Bones
the
was a master.
Surface tablets and all
Yeah.
that.
But again, it falls down to. You're completely right, but it falls into the organization to sit down and not be lazy and say, "Listen, we gotta figure this out."
The organization needs an overhaul.
Yeah,
I mean, I
we
don't
gotta
think
figure
any
this
of
out.
us are saying that it doesn't.
Yeah.
It needs an overhaul. It
Because
needs
it's
a
like,
switch over.
and like when you were saying, like instead of just breaking it down for just best pictures, best picture per genre. Because I know whenever anybody asks, "What's my favorite movie?" I'm like, impossible to answer. Give me a genre, and I'll give you top three.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, it's
What's
impossible.
your favorite comedy? What's your favorite thriller?
Exactly. And then
Exactly.
even within comedy is like dark comedy, romantic comedy, like slapstick.
Well, then we'd
like,
be here all night.
Yeah, we
no,
can't do
that's-
that. I mean,
Yeah.
then
But
then
I'm
we're
just saying,
splitting hairs.
there's just so
Then
many
we're
like
really splitting hairs.
subcategories.
But yeah,
You want too detailed.
But I'm just
three-night
saying
Oscar
clearly
event.
there's a lot.
Yeah.
Or like create like their own whatever's like maybe just have the Oscars for comedies
Right.
just by itself. And then go down every thing would be like a best
Right.
like dark comedy, best romantic comedy, and that's a completely different night. And if you want to watch the ones for like a best sci-fi, then you've got the sci-fi Oscars.
But if there's
or
so
Emmys.
many
Yeah,
Oscars and
there's-
Emmys, doesn't it?
Then it watered out.
and it's
Yeah,
not
it
like-
doesn't
well,
make it as valuable.
it makes the
But it-
show too long.
Or-
I mean,
or-
I mean,
Doesn't it
or
also
it
make
shortens
it
it.
less valuable?
Well,
It actually shortens
Yeah,
it.
because it makes it like it's different. In being in pitch rooms, like it does water it down. Like if there's 100 Oscars for 100 categories, it will it's different that if you're best film, regardless of the genre, if you're best film, an executive who just see numbers goes like, oh, this motherfucker beat out everyone. Let me bring him in the room. But if there's 10 different best film categories, they'll still bring you in the room, but they're like, okay. So they'll
yeah, but I mean, I don't know if that matters as much when everything is going straight to streaming services 6 months later after it comes out. Well, I was thinking about this the other day. We no longer have to worry about, oh, if I don't see this movie in these 3 weeks,
That's why I don't go.
I'm not going to
Yeah.
see it for another 9 months.
Dude, fucking-
because if I don't see
Yeah.
this movie in 3 weeks, I'm going to see it in 3 to 6 months on Netflix.
Dude,
so I'm not worried
yeah.
about that.
Yeah,
anymore.
no, but that's
you know.
yeah.
But that's what I'm saying is if it is split up into those categories, at least now, as someone who is buying this film to try and market it, I know how to market it better.
Yeah.
Right? As opposed to just saying, I mean, because let's think about some of the best award-winning movies that I can't remember them, or I haven't even bothered. The English Patient. Has anybody seen the fucking English Patient
I have.
through and through
I have.
Oh, I
without
have.
falling asleep?
Yeah, beginning to end. I watched it all the way through.
Wow.
But I
good
haven't
for
watched
you.
it since the first time.
But
Yeah.
you haven't watched
Yeah.
this since the first time?
Yeah, I
you
saw the
watched it?
first
yeah,
time.
it's been years.
But how many times have you seen The Departed?
Zero.
once.
Zero?
Zero?
What?
Never seen
What?
Departed. Okay, so I get a what for Departed, but not for the English Patient. That's interesting.
Well, because it's The Departed.
Interesting. Okay.
Well,
That's another conversation. But we're going to have to talk about this.
Departed. That's a horror film,
We're
right?
going to have to reevaluate our friendship.
That's
I don't know.
That's a new segment. What
That's a
what
horror,
Ronnie
right?
hasn't watched.
horror film? Thriller. I don't do scary movies.
All right. all right.
What is actually, let's just do this really quick. This could be funny.
Okay.
What is the movie that you've never seen that people would go, what? Like, what is that movie that every time you're like, I've never seen that
Godfather
movie?
2.
What?
Yeah.
Never?
How about Godfather 1?
Yes.
I've never seen The Godfather.
Okay, I can match
Any
your
of them?
Godfather.
Any of them.
I can match your
That's
Godfather.
like my wife.
Yeah.
Casino.
Oh,
I've
really?
never seen Casino.
favorite.
I don't know how that's happened.
Really?
Really?
TBS plays it like every hour.
I know.
It's so
good too.
I don't know how I've never seen
It's such a good movie that even
so
the
good.
edited version of TBS is still good. Like even
That's
the
so
crappy
crazy.
TV version is still a good movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
Casino's so good.
I always hear that, and I just never get around to. I know. So there's a question. There is such a huge library of films, right? We're going back to Citizen Kane, which a lot of people
old
say
school.
is one of the greatest
Never
movies
seen
ever.
it.
Never seen it. Right? No, but today, how many people are responsible for seeing that movie? Like, should you have to see that movie if you are a film buff?
You know what? But I think we're living in a generation now because kids now, and I say because of my niece, she's 13. They have all the access to these films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a brand new era that we've never seen. Where my niece at 13 is like, oh, I just finished The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which that's old,
Right.
That's old for her. That's like classic TV for her.
of course.
But then also she because we bond over sci-fi. She's watching the Twilight Zone, the classic one, and all these things
Twilight
that
Zone.
me as a 13-year-old, that shit didn't exist.
Yeah.
So these kids have access to everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Like even her, I remember at 8 years old, she's like, oh, I listened to this new band, the Beatles. I'm like,
Wow, that's adorable.
Yeah.
you're cute, but it's because you have iTunes and you have all the music in
Yeah.
the world and you
Yeah,
have
they
access.
have everything.
So I'm curious to see what happens because now kids do have that access. That if you tell them, oh, you have to see this movie, they're like, okay, fine.
Yeah, but are they watching The Wizard of Oz? I mean, does that hold up?
Some are.
Does that?
Well, like
yeah, but
right now,
one?
Friends is apparently making a comeback because,
Yeah.
one of my 9 to 5s is I'm a driving instructor, so I talk to a lot of teenagers, and one of the questions I ask are, "What are you currently binge watching right now?" And I have heard Friends more times in the past 6 months than I have in probably my entire life. I'm like, I've watched maybe one episode, but they've
What?
watched the entire series, and they're
You know,
16.
my niece who's 16 is now on her 4th time, beginning to end, all like 16 seasons of Grey's Anatomy.
See? Yeah.
I just binged.
Yeah.
I made it up to season 12.
literally, like,
Or fourth
okay,
time?
she's watching
Yeah.
it like for the 3rd time.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I've done that
And
once.
all her breaths.
See, but
That's hard.
But that's
See,
what
I'm in a different place where
That's
I'm
hard.
just like I can't watch anything twice.
see.
No
these
way.
days. There's
No
nothing that I
time.
can watch twice anymore.
But that's
There's
what I'm
not enough
saying.
time.
We're dealing, and we don't know the ramification of what's going to happen. But we're dealing with a generation that has that access. So I'm curious when my niece, if she decides to go to film school, she's not going to be like me, where like I had to search those things out. She's like, oh no, I'm ready because I have access to all this
on their phone.
Yeah, and we had to search for it. Like
I really hope all these kids are getting outside.
Eh,
That's all
and
I'm
they're
saying.
not.
I really hope they're getting outside
No, they can.
and playing in the
You watch
sunshine.
it on your phone
Yeah.
or your tablet.
They're going to get hit in the face with a ball.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
Pokemon Go.
Pokemon.
Yeah, and how many of those Pokemon Go
Got hit
kids
by a car.
got hit by a car or fell into a manhole? Right? Come on, fell off
sketch.
fell off the
Good.
curb.
Yeah.
Well, of course, survival of the fittest. But
I know, but I would be curious to be like a film teacher in a film school, seeing like my niece's generation coming in, and you saying something, and either they're like, "Oh no, I've seen that," or they're like, "Give me a minute." You know what? You were right or you were wrong, depending, because we've never lived in a time where we have access to everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Like it used to be just music, but now it's everything.
Yeah.
Like Deadpool comes out on DVD next week.
Yeah.
Like
crazy.
Never
Infinity
saw
Wars
Deadpool.
comes out on
Never
Blu-ray.
saw Deadpool
Yeah.
1.
You haven't seen Deadpool 1?
Oh, you should see it.
Oh, it's so fun.
I know. I need to see
It's
it.
like,
Yeah.
I just love how he breaks the fourth wall. That's like one of
Yeah.
my favorite things.
No, yeah.
I love
If
Ferris
you like that
Bueller
kind of
for
sense
that
of humor
reason.
too,
Yeah.
it's like
But it's also a brilliant script. Like they go very meta on that script.
Well, that script they were holding that for like
So long.
7-8 years.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, that script was written and just sitting in a desk drawer somewhere.
Yeah, no, it's become it's
Drawer.
Yeah, I heard that. Draw.
Draw.
You're New York. You're
But
New York.
I'm a New
that's
Yorker.
coming
What do you
out.
want from a
if
fucking
anything,
line,
just
man?
watch
Whatever.
the opening
Forget
credits.
about
They're
it.
the best
Oh,
opening
it's
credits you'll
amazing.
ever see.
Like
ever.
written by, directed by. Like they don't.
Don't ruin it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, don't ruin
Don't
it.
ruin
It's
it.
like my mom.
I legit didn't just give a spoiler. I just said directed by, written by.
Yeah, but
and
I
then
thought you were. I'm like,
stopped. No, I don't give spoilers.
says you,
Spoiler.
And everybody who's talked to me before.
Angry.
Bailey.
You're so
She's-
angry.
Now I'm gonna watch it and be like, I already know something's gonna happen.
Clearly.
Clearly.
I mean, really, that's on you. You haven't seen the first Deadpool film.
That's true.
It's like Bruce Willis was dead the whole time, or like their brother and sister.
Wait, what?
I don't
Spoiler
know.
Which
alert.
movie?
There's like
Which movie was Bruce Willis
I
dead
don't
in
know
the
if
whole
it's
time?
that much. Or what was the crying game?
Crying it.
You know, like
Oh God, I haven't seen that since I was a kid. Holy shit!
wait.
Yeah,
The
when was the
Crying-
last time you saw The Crying Game? That's
Yeah.
another one. What movie? It doesn't matter what part it's in, like beginning, middle, of end, but it's on TBS, USA, whatever.
Born.
Men in Black.
Born. Any of the Borns.
No.
Any of the
Born
Bournes?
films.
Or Days
Men in
of
Black?
Thunder.
Men in Black. I will.
What?
I
Goonies.
thought
Goonies?
For me, it's Goonies.
I have
Yeah.
never
For
seen
me,
it
it's
all
any
the
of the
way
Back to
through.
the Futures.
Those, yeah, those are good. Yeah.
Yes.
Any of the Back to the
Yeah, yeah,
Futures.
yeah.
I'm
Yes.
just like,
That's
okay.
a no-brainer. Yeah, no-brainer.
I remember when I was still living back at home, like I'm like getting ready for the day. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go do things, and then I walk into the living room, and then it's midway in between one of the Back to the Futures or Matrix, and I was like, just kidding. Thought I was productive today, but I guess not. Sit down and watch the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Days of Thunder.
Oh, that's a good one.
Another one. Always. Top Gun.
Really?
See,
Top Gun?
I Top Gun used to be, and then but my brother is a pilot, was a Marine pilot, and flew the Harrier, and just kind of ruined that movie for me.
But that
Kinda
doesn't
ruined
make
that movie
sense
for me.
that you're into Top Gun
Did
though
he
because
play
of what we talked
volleyball
about beforehand.
shirtless
That's
in
why.
in your
No.
yard?
Military stuff.
No,
Was he playing?
No, he
Yeah.
ruined because that movie is like every pilot's anthem. Like everyone loves that movie. But then when you watch it with a pilot and they start and he starts yeah, keep singing.
Get the
Yeah.
background. Yeah.
Yeah, but when you watch it with a pilot and they start nitpicking the stuff, it's like you just ruined the movie. Let me watch it. Let me
Yeah,
watch
but that's
it.
why you can't watch it with a pilot.
Yeah, it's like stop it. He's like, oh, he would have been dead there. Oh, that's not impossible. That's super impossible. Oh, he would have been court-martialed. I'm like, fuck, actor. Fuck. And I don't know. I was fine with it.
Kenny
I was
Loggins.
fine with the singing, but you gave me the creepy eye, which I felt it here. That's why I turned around. I felt something wrong here. We need a video in this podcast because that was so wrong. You are a stalker. You are a stalker. But yeah,
That's funny.
All right, we don't want to keep Eric here all night. He's got kids.
Or do we?
Or do we?
Bring the kids over.
no, he's like, I don't want to go home. I don't want to go home.
They'll just yell in the microphone.
Just yelling and screaming at the
Yell
top of their lungs.
At all.
We want to maybe do a little.
90
What
seconds
was
with.
that?
We've done that.
I don't know. We're on our
90
game today.
What
This
is
is gonna be
going
fun.
on?
We're on a
90
top
seconds.
of our game.
Oh man.
You know what? It was bound to happen. We've had so many episodes where like everyone's like, "Oh, we've been on it. And this one's like, fuck it."
This is the lemon.
We aren't. It's not.
I'm glad that happened my week.
Look,
I like lemons.
No,
they make
they
lemonade.
enjoy our quirks.
Lemonade,
We are not
popsicles.
perfect.
Turkey.
That's all. We're just quirky.
Speak to yourselves. I'm
Lemon
fucking
citrus.
perfect.
I
It
yesterday,
tastes good in
yesterday
water.
has come out to say
Like,
hello.
Lemons are awesome.
Stop. No. No.
They're full of vitamins. Like,
Stop talking.
What is
Stop
happening?
talking.
So yeah, I'm going to use that as my transition into plugging our social medias.
Yeah.
So
While he gets sets up for
Sets up for something
90
else?
seconds.
Yeah, for 90 seconds. Go ahead.
All right,
Plug our
cool.
social media.
All right. So, as I had said earlier, if you are wanting us to do a shout out for you, go ahead and leave a comment and rate us on iTunes. Also, make sure that you subscribe, comment, and share. Also on Spreaker and Google Play.
Okay.
We're on lots of different things. We've grown.
Sorry, the dog's tail is hitting a mic.
Estrella's stealing the show. She wants us
Estrella,
to
come
pay
here.
attention to her. She's an adorable black lab that we should take a picture of her actually and post it on the
She's going to sit
sites.
right on
She
top
kind
of
of
the
looks
mic.
like a koala, doesn't she?
She a
She looks like
little
a black
bit.
koala with her new haircut.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a picture of Estrella and post her on Instagram so that you guys can see it. And if you want to see it, then make sure that you like, comment, and follow us at Hurry LA Podcast across all of the platforms. So yeah.
All right. Cool.
We also have individual social media.
Yeah, where can we follow you, Ronnie?
If you want to follow me specifically, mine is on Instagram, Veronica_Roy, ROY. And then just type in Veronica Roy on Twitter and you'll find me. There's more underscores involved, but it's hard to say. So at Veronica Roy.
You made that so complicated. I don't know why you made it so complicated.
It's because Veronica Roy was already taken on the I had to be creative.
There's another one? I thought there could be only one.
I mean, I'm working on taking them out slowly, and I'm getting stronger per kill.
Yeah.
Okay. The murder tensions of our host, Ronnie, do not reflect the...
He's got murder.
I can't even get through that. I can't even get through that.
So how can we follow you, Landis?
Oh, you can follow me at Landis Aponte across all the platforms. And Jorge, how about you? Before we get into the game.
I am the El Jorge at the El Jorge.
Do you want to spell that?
L-E-L.
Yeah.
T-H-E.
Yeah.
Oh, do you
E-L.
share the E or is it two E's?
It's two E's.
So T-H-E-E-L-J-O-R-G-E.
Thank you, Ronnie.
You're very welcome.
So helpful.
It's what I'm here for.
I'm just waiting for her to turn because she's today you've been like helpful and then murder. So no.
I like to keep y'all on your toes.
Okay, how about our guest? Where can we follow you?
At Eric Laden.
There we go.
ERIC-LADIN.
Nice.
Pretty easy.
I like
All
how
the
you said it with an
platforms.
accent.
LADIN, baby.
Really push that accent.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Could you just ask me if I have a joint?
Yeah, you want me to?
Yeah, do it.
You got a joint? Come on, man.
You're incorrigible.
You do the rest of the line, though. Come on, you got to do the rest of it. I go, no.
What does he say? You're talking Dazed and Confused.
Yeah, be cooler if you did.
Be cooler if you did.
All right, one more time.
Hey, man, you got a joint?
No.
Be cooler if you did.
There it is.
And on that note, we're going to play
right.
our last game of the episode.
No, I want more of this. I just want them to keep going. Keep going.
Keep doing Dazed and Confused.
Yeah.
All right, so this is
90
Awkward Seconds with Jorge.
All right. Well, let's explain. Explain to the people and to Nick.
All right, so I'm going to ask you some rapid-fire questions. There's going to be a little counter on here.
Okay.
Some of them are going to be true and false.
Okay.
Some of them are going to be a little awkward.
Okay.
We'll see. All right, here we go.
And I'm doing the timer, right? Because I've got it ready to go. Or do
Well,
you
yeah,
have
but
it?
I got the timer on the sound, too.
Groovy, groovy. I'll just
You're
sit here
obsolete.
And I will be a watcher.
All right.
Take photos or video. How about that?
Sure.
Yeah. Ooh, video. Yeah, that's good. All right, standing by. And... Are we playing? True or false? The actor who played the father on Family Matters also voiced Shredder in the 80s, 90s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon.
False.
That is false. It was James Avery, Uncle Phil, on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. True or false? Camels have 3 sets of eyelids.
True.
That is true. What is the most expensive thing you have ever stolen?
A car.
Oh, nice.
You and Ray Gallegos have something in common.
I'll have to talk to Ray.
True or false? Night in Paris was the highest grossing sex tape of all time.
Was that the Paris Hilton one? False.
No, that is true, but Paris Hilton did not make any money off of it. However, her co-star Rick Solomon made $10 million off the first year alone.
He fucked her.
Let's see. What kind of cult would you start?
Rajneesh.
Oh, you had that ready to go.
Nice.
It's the last one I've seen.
What's the name of the first porno you ever saw?
Basic Instinct. It wasn't even a porno, but I just remember I was
porno titles. Wait a minute.
How do you show love to others?
Respect.
Okay. True or false? The first webcam watched was a coffee pot.
True.
That is true. Well, I got time for one more. True or false?
Nope.
Is it a good one?
Nah, I gotta get some more on this.
I think you're the one. You've been the highest scoring guest, I think, so
You
far.
have been, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
But everybody gets the camel one, the 3 eyelids.
Yeah, everyone gets that one
Like
right.
everybody, they're like, yes, they do. I'm like, you were really confident with it.
I went strong there.
Yeah.
I felt good about it.
Really committed.
The other camel, I don't know why I know a couple
You know
of
which
camel
one he
facts.
got, though?
There's camel facts I know, and I don't know why I know them. Like, they don't store water in their humps. They store fat.
Yeah. But apparently, you're not the only one. It's like everyone knows some
Common
kind of fact
knowledge.
about a camel.
I used to
Yes.
drink a lot of Snapple for 2 years.
Yes, on the inside, the
Yeah.
packs on the lids.
I got a lot of
So good.
Have you seen that YouTube video of the camel running towards the girl?
But I feel like I need to.
You need to go. You need to find
Yeah.
YouTube camel running to girl.
Okay, that'll
You
do it.
will laugh your ass off.
Okay, I'm good.
Well, depends how stoned you are. Because I watched it, I'm like, okay, this is cute, but
It's not that funny.
it's not that
Oh,
funny.
come on.
But
Veronica, was it funny?
I haven't seen it
How dare you?
because I don't watch everything you send me.
How rude.
You send me a lot of videos.
Yes, I do.
Yes, you do.
And they're all to make you laugh.
Yeah,
And
about that.
you just don't want to. You just don't want to laugh.
Our
Why do you
sense of
hate
humors
humor?
don't really
Why do you hate
overlap.
humor?
But thank
Veronica?
you so much for being our guest tonight.
Hey, it's been
Horrible
awesome.
person.
It's been awesome. Thank you guys. This is fun.
holy shit.
Forsaken and alone, like a young Hedy Lamar's Joan of Arc. No one around to tell you they don't get that reference.
I don't get that reference.
I don't-
Okay,
yeah, it's
okay,
cool,
but
it's cool.
All right, so this was fun.
This was fun. All right, I'm gonna play us out.
We have an outro.
All right, so make sure to subscribe, like, and do all that stuff.
Instagram and Twitter at Hurry LA Podcast.
All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye
Love
bye.
you, HUAWLA Koalas.
Stay sexy, HUAWLA Koalas.